Hello, hello. What's up, everyone? I'm Sade. Thank you so much for joining me for our astrology talk. For today, we are diving into what does it mean when you have your Venus in the sign of Scorpio. Now, if you have not checked out any of my videos on what Venus means and what the archetype Scorpio means in astrology, go ahead and check that out on my channel, Hidden Alchemy. I have tons and tons of videos where you can dive into. And also, my books are officially open for reading. So check out my website, Hidden Alchemy by Sade, where you can go ahead and book your own personalized reading, get in contact with me, and we can go ahead and start your healing and transformational journey. Let's go ahead and dive into Venus in the sign of Scorpio. Venus is the planet of relationship, not just romantic relationship, but how we are in relation to the people, places, and things around us. Venus is also the planet of our finances, of money, of the arts, of beauty, and really just how we like to spend our free time. Now, when you put this planet mixing it with Scorpio, Scorpio is ruled by Mars, right? So now you have a Mars and Venus energy coming together. Scorpio is the feminine Mars, and it is a fixed water sign. So when you put Venus and Scorpio together, these two don't mix that well. The reason being because Venus is naturally the ruler of Taurus as well as Libra. So Venus doesn't really want to be in Scorpio because it feels more at home in its opposite sign of Taurus. Why? Just because it has a little bit of difficulty doesn't mean that it's horrible. No, there's so much beauty in every placement, every planet, and every sign together. So when we put Venus in Scorpio, why does Venus feel so uncomfortable? Well, really because Scorpio rules the eighth house in astrology. And the eighth house is the house that deals with our phobias, our fears, our insecurities, death, taxes, transformation, evolution, as well as intimacy and wealth, merging with another human being. And that's Scorpio. Scorpio rules our intimate life and how we merge with other human beings. Venus is more on the social aspect. Venus is kind of like how we connect with other people more on a more shallower plane, more coming and going and not as intimate. So when you put these two together, Scorpio really wants to blend with the people that they come into contact with and they build relationship with. And that could be either a friend, that could be business partners, that could be romantic, but they deem their friends as their possessions that they have these deep intimate connections with. And this can sometimes blur the lines of relationships because they want this deep connection, but at the same time, they can have this Scorpion tendency, especially if Scorpio is in its immature stage of wanting dominance, wanting control, and wanting to lead. Because remember, Scorpio is ruled by Mars. So Venus is the planet of harmony, of balance, of bringing things together and finding a common ground. When you put it with Scorpio, these folks can sometimes want to have a lot of dominance and control over the relationships in their life, and they base a lot of their relationships off of strategy. Scorpio is a very strategic sign because it wants to be in control. And Scorpio rules personal power, first of all. So Scorpio at its highest energy is personal power and really being able to take the pain, take the trauma, take the deceit and the things done to you and use that fire to transform yourself and have this personal power. So they love to be in a state of control over themselves or a situation. When you pair this with Venus, it can sometimes come across as them trying to strategically control the people that they are around or control the way that other people view them. That's a big thing. Controlling the way that other people view them, really manipulating the situation and going about their relationships based off of strategy. Another important thing to realize is that the Scorpio rules merging. Venus rules wealth. These are people who care a lot about money. They care a lot about their finances and they want to find a partner or people that they can connect with that can also help them to absorb from them and build in their own. Scorpio is about absorption. It's about absorption. And especially because it's water, it's definitely about absorption. And when you're dealing with money, Taurus and Scorpio are the big money signs. Taurus rules how you go about gaining your possessions on your own. Scorpio rules how you absorb from other people. When you pair it together with Venus, which rules finances, business, these are people that are going to want to be around or involved important people that they can absorb from. And these are people that can have contracts with very powerful people that can help them climb the ladders financially within their business or for themselves. But this is a sign paired with Venus, Venus and Scorpio. These folks care a lot about wealth and they care a lot about their money and they want to build that wealth in their partnership. Now, another thing that makes this placement a little challenging, before I dive into the beautiful aspects of this placement, another reason why this placement can be a little challenging is because Scorpio is the feminine Mars and it internalizes a lot of things that happen to them. And Venus naturally is about beauty and aesthetic. So when you put it with Scorpio, these people can have a very sexual, dark, mystique aura about them, but in that same breath, be deeply insecure and unaware of their sexual power, of their personal power, and of their magnetism. These are people who are very magnetic because Scorpio rules that personal power. But because Scorpio it internalizes what goes on around them and how people treat them. These are people that can, in their earlier stages, not know their self-worth and their self-value and partner or be around other people that kind of shit on them a little bit and make them feel lesser than. And that's what they have to work on in this lifetime, is building personal powers through their relationships, not trying to control other people. So for these folks, they can feel very insecure on the inside, and that insecurity is what stems them to try to control and manipulate what is going on around them. Now, ways that you can really work with this Venus energy, because Venus in Scorpio is very powerful. Just because something is hard doesn't mean it's not powerful. It's very powerful. It's just getting through the mud of Scorpio energy to really build your personal power. The ways that these folks can really work on having this energy is focus on controlling one's emotions and controlling oneself, not needing to always control other people, and knowing that all of the power that you need is within yourself. You have so much personal power, you have so much magnetism and so much beauty that you have to tap into that within yourself, and then you will be able to attract everything that you want, because Venus is about attraction. And Scorpio is very powerful, very transformative. So when these people tap into their personal power, they can attract everything that they want into their life, because Scorpio is so spiritual. It's occult science. It's magnetic. So when these folks take the time to build their inner security and their personal power by focusing on themselves and not always needing to be in partnership. That's a thing. People with their Venus and Scorpio love being in partnership because Scorpio rules intimacy. But they have to realize that, yes, partnership is important, but let your partnerships teach you about yourself instead of always wanting to merge with another human being but lacking that self-awareness. Because Venus can lack self-awareness, and it takes time for Venus to develop that internal understanding of their own beauty and their own self-worth and their own self-value. Scorpio is about intimacy and always wants to be involved in partnership. So these folks can have a hard time of figuring out what is my worth and what is my value. When these folks figure that out by spending time alone, solitude, take some time with yourself, do things by yourself. You don't always have to do things with your partner, even though you want to, because you are a Venus and Scorpio person. You want to be in an intimate relationship. But spending time in solitude can really help you to build that personal power within yourself so that you can have this clingy, obsessive relationship with your partner, but understand that your partner is not your possession. Your partner is their own being with their own life, and you are to your own being. Y'all are just coming together. Because again, Venus is more so about bringing harmony in relationships with two individual people coming together. Scorpio is just about merging. Scorpio is like, I want to be intimate. I want to merge my spirit, my soul. I'm obsessed with you. I want to cling to you. I want to attach myself to you, and etc., which is beautiful. But in its darker element, it can really be problematic in partnership. But once these folks understand personal power, they are healers in their relationship. They know how to motivate people. They know how to inspire people to tap into their personal power so that they can transform their life. These are magnetic people who will have partners obsessed with them, or they are the ones obsessing. But it's really the reverse. Like, these are people, when they tap into their power, the people they attract, they're obsessed with you because they see that light, that healing light within you, that powerful, transformative, and sensual light within you, because Scorpio is feminine. So they see that darker feminine of, wow, this person embodies the masculine and the feminine of knowing who they are, but still being this sensual goddess in a sense. Even if you're a man with Venus and Scorpio, you're going to have that magnetic energy once you tap into your personal power of who you are and what your value is on a deep spiritual level, because Scorpio is water. These folks have to be careful with the contracts that they get involved with. Again, because this is Scorpio, it can be a contract based off of manipulation and control. Either you're doing the manipulating or the controlling, or vice versa. Or it could be a contract that is very difficult to break from because there might be obsession involved. Because with Scorpio, it's till death. Till death do us part. These are people who take their partnerships very serious, okay? And betrayal can be felt very deeply. And once betrayal happens in these types of relationships, especially with Venus and Scorpio folks, they have to cut cold. Reason being, they attach themselves completely and wholeheartedly into what they involve themselves with, especially when it comes to partnerships. So if a partnership doesn't work or there's betrayal involved, they have to remove themselves completely from that partnership as well. But all in all, even though Venus in Scorpio is a difficult placement, this is a very powerful placement for deep transformative healing within oneself and healing other people that they involve themselves with. That's another thing. Whoever you involve yourself with as a Venus and Scorpio person, you are going to have a very deep transformative effect on their life. So that is an armor that you get to wear, of knowing whoever is in relation with you, they are going to transform your life, or mainly you are going to have a very deeply transformative effect on their life. And that is very powerful and very inspiring, but at the same time, a big, deep responsibility of evolution and transformation on deep karmic levels. All right, y'all, if you have your Venus in Scorpio, let me know how this resonates with you. I would love to hear more. Check out my website if you want your own personalized reading, and I will see you for our next video, y'all.